Like, wow, like I've been struggling with this thing that I thought I was so alone in.
I've had OCD my entire life.
Oh, wow.
All right, pause for a second. Do you guys see what the interviewer for Rolling Stone just did? So she just got candid with Noah Kahan about her own OCD. There's actually a term for that. It's called self-disclosure. Self-disclosure is just a fancy way of saying vulnerability with professional boundaries. Like if you went to a therapist and the therapist, to make you feel safe, told a story of their own experience with something that you're going through. A lot of filmmakers miss out on this opportunity, not because they don't care about the subject or connecting in a human way, but because they're not looking for it. They're thinking about the next question, or they're busy wondering how to get something from somebody, as opposed to just connecting with them. I first started using this idea when a mentor of mine in journalism who had this uncanny way of breaking down people's barriers to get really honest conversations and answers out of them. And I asked him why. And he said, well, Darren, all I do is I tell them something deeply personal about me. And a lot of times they'll come back with something personal themselves. It's just kind of a way of saying, hey, you're not in this alone. I'm not up in my boat just sitting here watching you flounder in the ocean alone. I'm swimming with you. The key word here is boundaries. You're not dumping your story on somebody. If you've talked longer than 30 seconds, that's probably too long. And you're not trying to do this competitively where every time they have something that they share, you share your own version of it. That's not what it's about. It's about signaling occasionally and sparingly that you're human too, and you're in the water with them. The general rule of thumb is you share enough to make them feel safe.
I think like when I was like 5 years old, I was like, why do I have scary thoughts that I can't share with anyone? I'm a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Every relationship, every story, every person is going to be completely different. Somebody that you've been filming with for 2 years and spending lots of time with, you're going to have a deeper relationship with, and it might be more appropriate to share deeper things. Somebody that you just met an hour ago is different. But regardless of how long you've known them, protecting that professional line is super important for a lot of reasons that I don't need to get into in this video. But that doesn't mean that you are an interrogator, right? You're there to tell them you're with them, you're supporting them. You're not just using them, right? So that requires human connection. And it doesn't always have to be something big like, you have OCD, I've got OCD too, or something even more traumatic. It can be as simple as something like, I totally get what it feels like to feel invisible, or something like that. It doesn't have to be this massive thing. Again, signaling your humanity. One great little note about self-disclosure is that a lot of times the best time to do this is not after you're already shooting. Sometimes it's in the pre-interview or when you're greeting them at the door. It's about building trust ahead of time so that moments come easier later. And this isn't a trick. This isn't a manipulation. This is using a disciplined approach of how you reveal yourself to another person. And what I'm not coaching you to do is to find fake ways to connect. If you say something that isn't true, or you make it all about you, let's say you say, I totally understand what you're going through, but you really don't, that fakeness is going to come through, and it's more likely to piss them off than to open them up. So only disclose when it feels real and you're not forcing it, and it's sparing. And maybe you just don't have a connection with somebody. You're so different and you just can't connect with them in any kind of real way. Sometimes all it is about is slowing down and letting the silence speak. Sometimes silence is the best way to allow somebody else to get the momentum to share what they need to share. Or maybe say something as simple as, take your time. Then just give it time. Actually, that line, take your time, is one of my go-tos because it gives control back to the subject, which is one of the deepest forms of psychological safety. So keep it proportional. Again, if you've talked for 30 seconds, you've probably talked too long. Make sure that it's a bridge. You're not keeping it all on you. And a good self-disclosure usually ends on giving the mic back to them.
Well, I think,
Pretty awesome that you were able to confront it at an early age.
was it surprising for you, or were you kind of like, oh, I've always felt like that?
It was surprising.
You're never using vulnerability as a kind of bait or trick. If someone gives you honesty, handle it with care. And finally, protect their dignity in the edit. Safety doesn't end when the interview ends. It ends all the way through delivery and then sending them a cut to make sure that everything lands true. It's just connecting with people on a human level, again, with professional boundaries. And I'd love to hear in the comments if you've used self-disclosure, how vulnerable you are willing to get with your subjects, and what you think is appropriate. Take care.